over here at Wafu Estate, which is on the south side of Hong Kong Island, and we're trying to find the Aberdeen Waterfall. So I think we found the spot. Like, this is the waterfall, but the road to it looks a little bit run down, so you gotta be careful over here. So this is a cool spot, but it's not just a cool Instagram location. This place actually has a lot of historical significance when you look at what it means in the relationship between Hong Kong and Britain. This was actually one of the first places that the British fleets landed in Hong Kong. And this thing over here, this pillbox, was actually used by the British soldiers to defend the colony against Japanese troops in World War II. But what we're really here to talk about today is the Olympus Mju point-and-shoot camera. This is actually one of the cult favorite cameras in the film world. And because of that, it's actually really hard to find one of these cameras, or at least they come at really expensive prices these days. Like, these cameras usually go for at least $200 US on eBay. And the prices are constantly rising. Part of the reason why people love this camera so much is because it's a point-and-shoot camera in the truest sense of the word. All it really lets you do is control the autofocus, the flash mode, and the self-timer, and that's it. Everything else the camera does for you. So this camera is clearly geared at enthusiasts or beginners, because based on its design philosophy you can tell it's a very beginner camera. Even the construction of the camera itself is really plasticky, and honestly at some points you feel like it's a bit fragile, but then again that's why you feel like you can just bang it around a bit more. This camera is obviously orientated for beginners. It's really simple to use and there's not much to it. People might find flaws with that because it sort of takes you out of the shooting experience. But at the same time, it's just so simple to use. There's nothing precious about it. It makes you want to take more photos because you just feel like it's so simple. So most of the controls on this camera can be just found on the back. There are only 2 buttons and there's one really small LCD display. It tells you how many shots you have left and also tells you how much battery you have left and which flash mode you're using. Yeah, so we decided to leave the waterfall. We're going back to the housing estate because there's just way too many mosquitoes here. Anyway, back to the camera. So this camera has 6 different flash modes, and the annoying thing is the default mode is actually automatic flash. So you're gonna have to toggle it to no flash if you want to turn it off properly. And but the flash is generally really good. Like, especially in daylight situations, it meters correctly so that you don't get overblown images. And so that's what I mean by it's like a point and shoot camera. Everything the camera does for you. So we're back at the housing estates right now, and I think it's a really popular place to shoot photos in Hong Kong, like all the housing estates, because there's a lot of interesting colors and geometric shapes, and every time you go to a different one you find just interesting things to photograph. So as far as the optics go, this camera uses a 35mm f2.8 lens, and it's a really great and sharp lens. It focuses down to a minimum focusing distance of 35 centimeters, and it's really good for just any circumstances, and the photos always look really punchy. And as for autofocus, this camera uses a single spot autofocus system, so whatever you put in the center of the frame, it focuses on. And when it's focused, you'll see a green LED light up inside the viewfinder, and when you're focusing too close, the green LED will start flashing. That's about it. The one problem I have with this camera is that the viewfinder is really small, so sometimes when you look at it from an angle, you can't really see through it. So yeah, that's the only super annoying thing about it. So overall, this is a fantastic do-everything, go-everywhere package. But the only thing is it sort of lacks a certain spark, and there's not much involvement in the photo taking process. But as long as you have the right expectations about what the camera is and what it isn't, then it's a definite must-buy, and you should certainly try it out sometime in your life.